Okay, I think we're live. This is a test from OBS. I have really no idea what I'm doing. I'm going to leave this up for a few minutes. I have, scene, video capture. There's really fancy scrolling things at the bottom. Live for 30 seconds. CPU, drop frames. So on YouTube, I know there's a way to see how many people are watching, even if it's 0. Oh, hey, Ben Engelbrecht. Hi, you're the first person I've ever spoken to on a live chat before. Oh, John Everett's here too. Okay, so this is not the official live stream. I'm just trying to figure out how this works. Hi. Okay, so I see the live chat. This isn't the replacement, but the proper one will still be on Saturday, November 27th. I'm trying to figure out how this works because it's all new and this is really fun. How do I see? What are you guys up to tonight or this morning, depending where you are? Ben, South Africa. Good morning. Yeah, it must be really early for you. I think, John, if I remember right, aren't you in North America somewhere? I'm trying to see how to see language. I'm trying to tell how many people are currently watching. Oh, sweet! Thank you, John. I appreciate that. And also, Ben, I'm really nervous about Saturday because I have no idea what I'm doing. But, I mean, that's kind of a normal steady state for me. I don't know what I'm doing. How are you guys doing today? Is it under properties? Filters? No, that's not it. Manage broadcast. The people who do this regularly make it look really easy. Phoenix, Arizona. Okay, so you are... It's 2300 here, so it's 2000. It's 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. your time, right? I envy Phoenix for your accessibility to solar power. We don't get quite such great solar power up here in Canada. At least not where I am. Oh yeah, you guys have Americans Thanksgiving coming up soon now, don't you? Mind me here looking at my phone. I'm trying to figure out how all this works. Now live in your channel? Okay, well that's nice. Can I think some people... Ah, that's what they do. They open up their phone. Oh, I gotta mute this. I'm trying to figure out how this works. 9 p.m. Are you Central Time or Pacific Time? I think some people... Ah, that's what they do. Okay, I need to mute this. I gotta mute this. There we go. Okay, so the phone's muted. So if I use the phone like that, that'll let me see who's here. I've got the live chat up in the corner. I've got OBS main window. In Salati next to Kruger Building off-grid lodge construction. Thursday's US Thanksgiving. Ah, your mountain time. Okay, so... Oop. Said message retracted. I'm assuming that was a double one. Thank you guys for being here to help me figure this out. This is my dry run, my test. All right, I think... You know what, I want to try lag test. Can one of you say something, and as soon as I read it, I'm going to say that I've seen it. We don't do daylight savings in Arizona. Oh, hey, Mark. Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what the delay is between when I'm talking, because the video I'm seeing seems to be no lag whatsoever. And when you guys are, like, how long it takes for you to type something until I see it. So if one of you can type just test, I'll say it, and then tell me how long the lag was, please. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. LeVar Burton should be the next host of Jeopardy! Just throwing that out there into the universe, for as much as my opinion matters. Test. Okay, Mark, how long was the delay there? You can tell I live in the lap of luxury. One of these days I'll have actually, like, smoothed walls and painted. Oh, wow. Half a minute to a minute of a delay, huh? So one of the things I really want to do with the live stream test, hi, John, I just saw John's test. One of the things I really want to do with the live stream on Saturday is do like a sort of I want it to be as interactive as possible. So if there's a 35-second delay, I'm going to have to ponder how to handle that. Oh, hey, Solar Garage. Wow, there's a bunch of you already. And this was like totally not even scheduled. I was literally about to go to bed and I'm like, whoop, there goes my phone. And I'm just like, I should figure out how this works because the weekend's coming up quickly. Test received. Okay, well, you know what? 35 seconds isn't too bad. I don't think. Sweet. I don't know how long I should keep this going. It's really nice that you're here. I don't want you guys to just show up and then suddenly close the stream, but this was kind of not really meant to be a live stream. This is just an unofficial test. Actually, this would be a good test too. Somebody was saying they're not going to be able to join the stream on Saturday because it's their mom's 80th birthday. Always put family first. Totally approve of that. But now I'm going to be able to see whether this is recorded. All right, so tell you what time is it now? It is 23:20 here. I'm going to call it at 23:30, so 10 more minutes, because I kind of need to get to bed anyway. So, I don't know, anyone want to say something or ask a question or whatever in this impromptu, unofficial live stream before I call it a night and go hit the hay? It just tickles my pink that there's people here. Thank you, John. That's very kind of you to say. I'm always afraid of offending people because I can't believe I've got viewers and I really appreciate you guys and I don't want you to ever be offended or anything. Yeah. Oh, look, there's a kitty here. Say hi, Lynx. You're live on the internet. All right. Well, cheers, Ben. I'm probably going to be checking out here shortly, too. Oh, there's another kitty. Kitty live stream. That's Mr. Tatters. And Mr. Lynx. And I don't know where Mr. Kepler is. He tends to hide. This is so cool. Wow. All right. Oh, how do I get back to OBS? All right, so I'm back at OBS. Hey, Mr. Lynx. You gonna come up and say hello? You gonna say hi? Hello. You know, John, I don't blame you. I was very reluctant for a long time to get started with, oh, hey, Rod, with videos, and I had to be talked into it by a friend of mine. And it's been an adjustment. I won't lie. I mean, I'm really enjoying it, but starting your YouTube channel is not something to take on lightly. Never worry about offending people. Just be who you are. I mean, to be fair, I'm going to be who I am, no matter what people think. And if they're offended, well, I'm not going to lose any sleep. But if I can, I'd like to be as kind and friendly to as many people as I can. Bye, Mark. Yeah, I'm live. This is so cool. I said I was going to hang on until 23:30 my time, so I guess I'll hang around for a few more minutes. No, there's three people here. I guess I'm one of them, so there's two other people here. That's awesome. Hmm. Hmm. What to talk about? I don't know what to talk about. I'm working on the new box for the next video I had hoped to do over the weekend, but I made a mistake and ruined it and had to start over. But I think I've done a much better job on the second one. And spoiler alert, the batteries fit perfectly. Well, thank you. That's very kind of you to say, John. There's so many people out there that are really awesome and very interesting. And one of the biggest things I'm looking forward to with this channel is getting to meet a bunch of the weirdos and misfits. I guess I'll talk about my renovations. This, I, I bought this house from, it was built in 1967. I bought it like 5 years ago with the plans of renovating it. And then I was in the middle of completely gutting the basement. This was all finished basement. I completely stripped it back to bare walls. And I was putting it all back together, and then COVID hit. And everything kind of stopped. But at least I got the insulation in. So, oh, there it is. Hold on. How do I see it? There you go. You can see the insulation. Living in Canada, really good insulation. I lost a little bit of space on the inside, but the walls are nice and thick. Tesla and LifePo 4 cell production. I've been hearing, and I don't know much about this yet, that Tesla is going to be using lithium iron phosphate in some of their cars, I think. I'm not entirely sure. From what I understand, the gravimetric density and the volumetric density of traditional lithium ion is better initially by a fair margin compared to lithium iron phosphate. But the cycle life of traditional lithium ion or lithium ion is such that as it degrades, there's a point where even though lithium iron phosphate starts off with not quite as good of a volumetric or gravimetric density as lithium iron phosphate, there's a point where it's the traditional lithium ion's degradation drops below lithium iron phosphate. So there's an argument, from what I understand, of lithium iron phosphate for EV in that though you don't get that nice initial bonus, the capacity is more stable over the lifetime of the vehicle. I say this, I'm waiting for, let's see if I can show you this. I had a Subaru Impreza you saw in the Sheets video. It kind of died, so I've got no vehicle right now. I'm currently carless. But hopefully for not much longer. I've got a Model Y coming. And I was kind of hoping it was going to be coming just at the beginning of the 4680 cells and the new Giga castings they had for the front and back part. But I think I'm going to get one of the older versions. Which is not the worst thing in the world, because at least it's been well tested and well developed. They've been building those Model Ys for a long time now. But yes, lithium iron phosphate in EVs, in wheeled EVs, is something I'm going to be really curious to watch over the next little while. I mean, lithium iron phosphate definitely makes a lot of sense in marine environments and RVs to a lesser extent. If they actually find their home in traditional EVs, I think it's going to be really fascinating to see. Oh, hey, Scott from Vancouver. You're 3 hours behind. So you're 8:26. I was in Vancouver about a month ago. That's where I was for the Victron training. I really hope to get out to Vancouver. Ooh, how are you guys doing out there? I know the rains were really bad and you were starting to recover, but then they were calling for more rains out there, weren't they, in the Pacific Northwest? Please stay safe. The Legacy is a really nice car, John. I bought my Impreza because I came from a Honda Fit, so at the time the Impreza already seemed like a bigger vehicle. I kind of wish I had gone for at least the Crosstrek because it had a little bit of towing capacity and it would have made the renovations on the house a lot easier. Though honestly, the Outback was kind of my dream, but I couldn't justify the fuel economy. But yeah, the Leggy is a wonderful car. I bet you have a lot of fun. Did you get the 2.5 or the 3.6? Overblown by the media. Oh, sorry, Rod. And Langley close to Abbott's. Oh, okay, good. So the tales of destruction and severed highways is not as bad as it sounds. I'm really glad to hear that. Solar Garage. Just test a 100 amp hour LiFePO 4 cell that was cycled every day down to 80%, 60% state of charge for 10 months and is still testing above rated capacity. Whoa. Wow. How many? Wow. Ooh, the 3.6. That's the new me version. Nice. I won't I won't lie. I'm really looking forward to going out each morning to a car that's full. Um, but yeah, I've got the little 2 liter um, flat four. The 3.6, from what I understand, is quite a lot more fun. Did you get the CVT or did you get the stick shift? Yeah, I think so. Lifopore seemed to be largely written off in the early days of lithium ion. People seem to be like, oh, it's a lesser capacity, heavier, poorer version of the lithium ion family. But as time goes on, it seems to be the one that's kind of like going from the ugly duckling into the beautiful swan of the battery technologies. It's steady voltage over its charge discharge cycle and it's relatively stable capacity over a lot of charge recharge cycles. I think a lot of people are starting to sway over to lithium iron phosphate. How many 100 amp hour cycled every day down to for 10 months? So 10 months would be about 300 days. So that's about 300 cycles. How how long do you plan to do that test, Solar Garage? 300 days. I think even lithium iron is good for like 800 cycles before you start to see a real drop off in total capacity. Yeah, I had driven every car I've had going back into the 90s, with the one exception, was a stick shift. I love rowing the gears, it's really fun. But I started driving a lot for work, and I had a couple of close calls driving on foreign roads, looking like, oh, is the off ramp? Oh no, somebody's braking in front of me. I really wanted a car with automatic braking. So when I got the Impreza, in order to get eyesight, I had to go CVT. It's nice not having a sore leg and stop and go traffic in Toronto, but I kind of still miss the standard. And that's one thing I know I'm probably never going to have a standard again because now I'm going to the Tesla and it's one pedal driving. But yeah, I guess it's like three on a tree back in the old days of driving a truck. There's kind of a charm to it, but when you have to live with it, I don't know. I still miss the standard, I have to say. Oh, it's 11:31. I said I was gonna end the stream. Well, people are talking, so I'll keep talking. Oh, is that the case, John? I didn't know that lithium iron phosphate was terrible back in the early days. You know, it's really common in the West to shit on Chinese companies, but we have to remember that a lot of the stuff we see in the West that comes from China, we went to China to buy because it was cheap as chips. It doesn't mean that China can't make good stuff. We cycle every day as our LiFePO4 battery is tied into the solar system for the house. We pulled one of the 100 amp hour cells and tested when we added 32 280 amp hour cells. That's a decent bang. So that's The 30 to 100 amp hours, that would be 28.4 kilowatts if my test is to go on anything. And then you've got your 100 amp hour cells as well. Are you running 48 volt or are you running... Oh, well, okay. 14.2 kilowatts was on a 16S bank. So yeah, I'm curious, Solar Garage, what voltage you're running at? I had to nudge my... Ooh. Okay, so when I do the live stream, the trick here is I can't put the laptop on my lap because I'm going to give people motion sickness. Noted, I will live stream from my desk. Thank you guys again for letting me test this out because learning. The Chinese, for some reason, got to produce without royalties, but patents expired in... Oh, hey! Upgrade Garage, Andy, how are you doing? This was totally impromptu. 48 volt. Wow. Okay, so Solar Garage, you're running... That's almost a 30 kilowatt hour system then, aren't you? Yeah, Andy, I started this up just to kind of figure out how to do it. This is totally impromptu preparation, unofficial live stream, just to see how to do this before Saturday. Oh, there's the Scott. Yeah, 51.2 volt nominal is what I found with them as well. Well, 3.2 times 16, right? Andy, to the rest, my channel would still be a pissant little nothing, maybe 100 subs by now, if it wasn't for Andy being my biggest cheerleader. I know I've said thank you on the channel, but hey, he's here now in the live stream, so I'm gonna say thank you again. And happy early birthday. Yeah, it's funny how many of us battery aficionados work in IT as a day job. But yeah, so one of the things I've been struggling with the boat conversion is when I've been looking at the other systems in the or for the boat, 48 volt is really hard to come by for a lot of things. Like I was trying to find a reefer freezer unit at 50 or at 48 volts. They're hard to come by. 48 volt lighting is hard to come by. I'm not too terribly worried because Victron has 48 to 24 and 48 to 12 volt DC-DC converters that are relatively efficient. But once I actually get the boat and get it up on the hard, I'm going to be going pretty crazy trying to find 48 volt everything. If I can avoid DC-DC adaptation, that would be amazing. Andy, thank you for saying that. It's important that we all don't put ourselves down. It's a really bad habit that a lot of us are taught. So yes, I think maybe I would have done okay in the long run, but please also take your credit for the fact that things have gone a lot faster thanks to your cheerleading. Yeah. Oh snap, it's live. Hello. Oh hey, Spectrum DIY. Yeah, it was totally, this is not official. This is just me trying to test it out, to figure out how it works, because I didn't want to screw things up on Saturday. When the majority of people show up for the scheduled one, I want to make sure I've kind of got it figured out. An Orion TR DC-DC converter from Victron. Ooh, nice. 30 plus here, NIT here as well. I don't know what it is. Is it IT? Do DIYers find themselves interested in IT as a career because it's Lego for grown-ups? Or is there something about falling into IT that makes you think, I want to build angry pixies to power everything in my life? I don't know. It's weird, but there's definitely a lot of us. Another friend of mine, Stu, Dengar Marine, okay, to be fair, he's a diesel grease monkey, but he's in IT as well. John, you're a software release manager. So, John, you might laugh. I love Perl. Perl's my favorite language. If you've ever had to manage Perl developers, I'm sure you're screaming right now. Your subscribers, Andy, are amazing. I do my best to make the best content I can. I always get worried because I know it's kind of like my channel's very much a slow TV, slow food, slow. I don't know how you want to describe it. It's very slow and pondering, but I've never seen another channel like it, and that's kind of what I wanted it to be. Like, for people who actually want to DIY their own things, here's what it is. Like my next video, I was hoping to have it up last weekend, but I spent a bunch of time building a box for my battery and I screwed it up by 2 millimeters. 2 millimeters! I couldn't fit the batteries in, had to throw it out and start over. But that's part and parcel of the process, right? Spectrum D, I was IT for 15 years. It sounds like you escaped. I don't know if you're going to get the Hotel California experience and get dragged back into IT, though. Yeah, there's a lot of radio. Well, I think amateur radio is kind of part and parcel with IT. Oh, so real old geekster, you might get a kick out of this. Here's one of my plans for when I get out on the boat. I want to go to Point Nemo, the Atlantic zone of inaccessibility. There's a point, or in that point, you are so far away from land and common shipping areas that if you have the right radio and you wait for the International Space Station to pass overhead, the humans on the space station are the closest to you. So I plan to go there, drop a sea anchor, and just constantly radio the ISS until they respond. Or somebody comes to get me. Yeah, there is, John, there is a pleasure to solving problems. And I guess that's kind of the appeal of DIY as well. Curd. I would have gone with 72 volt or 96 volt for my house if inverters BMS. Yeah, the higher the voltage, the better. But also, Curd, there's another problem, which is once you go over, I think it's 60 volts, you are officially into high voltage and a whole bunch of new regulations, whatnot, kick in. Staying at 48 volts seems to be the highest standard voltage where you're still considered low voltage. Yeah, IT and lithium addict, Clixium, you're right. Oh, AF5CG, I guess that's your call sign. I don't have a radio license yet, one of the many things I need to figure out. Real old geekster, N4LEP. I need to learn all the codes. I want to say Niagara 4 Lima Echo Papa Patrick. Oh, anyways, I'm learning. On the lake, you're not late because this was completely unscheduled. I just threw this up as a test so that I don't screw things up on Saturday for the main live stream. Yeah, about a 15-minute window. DIY Spectrum, are you talking about waiting for the ISS to pass over? Because I know it's a 90-minute orbit. Hams and IT also comment. Yeah. A friend of mine's a ham radio operator. I have uploading Hemi 6.4. Oh, Solar Garage, that's your channel. Yes, I was subbed to you for a while there. And you started doing the RAM refit. Yeah, yeah, I was watching your solar stuff. Hams IT, but also autistic ADHD. Hey, Spectrum, ADHD all the way right here. I think there's, again, something about DIY that really is attractive to neurodivergent people. Hey, Q420. Thank you very much. What is your favorite flavor of Unix? I make my living in the EL8 world, so Fedora. Fedora on my laptop. I run CentOS Stream 8 or RHEL 8 proper on the work computers. But honestly, anything that's not Windows kind of makes me happy. I bought a MacBook Pro. I don't know if you can see that. No, you can't. If I split that down, you don't see anything. I bought a MacBook Pro, which is a port of BSD for the to run DaVinci Resolve, which is a brand new editor because I got it. Where is it? I got a speed editor for making videos. So right now I'm also in the middle of completely relearning how to make videos. Anything with a terminal that supports commands like DD and rsync and whatnot makes me happy. You really, yeah. Hey, Ray builds cool stuff. Yeah, anything above 48 volts gets dangerous. That's why I think 48 volt. If I had to bank on where the future of DC is, it's 48 volt because it's the highest you can go that's an accepted standard and still falls below the dangerous level. 48 volts is still dangerous. 90s girl, thank you. I do my best. I'm really bad at being like a self-promoter and whatnot. So I'm going to say thank you for the great content. I don't always believe that it's great content, but I mean, look at all many are you watching, so I've got to be doing something right. Uh, yes, I managed to reach them once. Oh my God, you actually talked to the ISS astronauts. Okay, Spectrum, that is bloody awesome. Yeah, that is one of the absolute highlights. Is I don't know, I've got a very vague idea of the very wiggly path I'm going to take around the world. I've got a 5-year plan to go around the world, and I don't know yet how I'm going to get to Point Nemo, but it will be part of where I go. Andy, I was testing earlier on. Oh, there's an OBS setting, and please do email me. I did a test at the beginning of this test live stream, and it seemed like the lag was about 35 seconds. 35 seconds. One person said about 60 seconds. You know, Spectrum, neurodivergents find each other. That's definitely for sure. Big Clive is a doll. I don't do any kind of circuit design. Actually, you'll recognize this. Big Clive did a teardown on these little ULY, I can't remember exactly what they are. It's got a 20, whatever the battery is inside. These things, oh, wow. Okay, there we go. Let's turn that off. These things are amazing if you work in IT because they've got a really strong neodymium magnet. And I love going in, if I'm working in the back of a server rack, I take these with me whenever I go to a job site. They just snap into the back of the rack and light everything up. It's brilliant. And I found that from Big Clive. One moment, please. It is so hard when I'm filming to not throw Big Clivens in. I'll be right back in a moment. Oh, yeah, he's amazing. I have real old geekster. I have 6 projects started and I'm having trouble getting back to the first one. Dude, I am so bad about task switching between hobbies. It's been something I've been actively working on for the last few years to get into a project and try to stay on it as much as I can because I'll be the same. It's part of the ADHD thing. Squirrel, right? Slowlaris is a thing. I actually met somebody years ago at a Linux users group who had a Solaris-based Sun-branded laptop. I didn't know those things were existing. Picture could be sent in a chat. Took up a whole sheet of to-dos. Yes. Oh, hey, John! That's my cousin John. He grew up across... I used to walk through the woods to get to his house back in the day. Hi, John. That's awesome. I didn't expect you to be here. I mean, I didn't expect anybody to be here. I didn't expect to still be live. I literally just turned it on to test it. Spectrum DIY. I didn't do YouTube much at the time I was doing the contest. I think all I did was make people make twiddling the big knob. I mean, twiddling knobs is kind of fun. That's longer than a minute now, and you got my comment. Sorry, Andy. I have this squirrel problem where I'll see someone's comment and I'll start just yammering on. I'm not actually keeping up with the bottom of the chat. I moved from Florida 2 months before Falcon Heavy. So John, okay, my mom lives just north of Tampa, and I was there for the second Falcon Heavy launch. So the first one was the test where they launched the Roadster into the Mars transfer orbit. The second one was the first paid commercial launch. My mom used to work she's a civilian working for the U.S. Defense out on Ascension Island. Well, she's retired now. But she made friends who are still working at Cape Canaveral. I got to go to Cape Canaveral. We were so close to the Falcon Heavy launch that we watched it launch. I should post this sometime. We tracked it up until booster separation. And then when the boosters came back, we had to run across the road because they were landing behind us. We were given a warning that if there was a rud, that we would have to get into our cars right away because we would be in the hazardous... It was the best thing in the world. I did not use my inside voice. Wow, I'm completely losing track of chat. 27 years. Robert Garessi, I hope I said your name right. Gotta say my basement looks just like... Okay, here, I gotta show you what I've been working on, Robert. I have been... Yeah, okay, so there's one thing. There's all my wires. When COVID hit, I had to move my server rack into my That's where I dry my clothes. So I've got like a full server rack beside my washing machine because, COVID and work from home and all that kind of stuff. Any money I might have saved. Oh, I get the power cord. Any money I might have saved in gas bills went to electric bills. Speaking of Andy's DIY solar project, I should really get a better DIY for my house because, God, my power bills went up. Okay, have I... One moment, please. Yes, yes, Spectrum. Oh, he's a national treasure. Spectrum, ADHD and confidence, I hear you all night long. The Sun clone laptops at my start in Solaris. I only played a little bit with Solaris, and all my experiences with it were so, not good. It was so slow. Ooh, Robert, you bought your first set of batteries and BMS and inverter. Let me know what you got. Oh, hey, Shifted Phase. Cows and chickens and pigs. Shifted Phase is a very long-time friend of mine. He's awesome. Yeah, I just started this live chat to see if I could get OBS working, and people are here, so I'm still talking. Oh yeah, you're doing English tests, and John, you get. Okay, so John, if you pop by on Sunday or Saturday, if you can, I'll post a link to your channel. So my cousin John has been doing a, what would you call it? A gaming channel? He sits there and plays a video game and talks about it. It's really good, and it's such a crowded environment. If you like watching gamers, check out John Ewart's page. John, feel free to link it. I don't know if he's going to let you link it in the chat, but if you can link it in the chat, go ahead and link it in the chat. Otherwise, I'll link it when I do my real live stream on Saturday. Falcon. Okay, so Chris, you saw the last Falcon. God, one of the things that really takes me when you watch the live of the Falcon's launch, the Falcons or the Falcon Heavies, I cannot imagine what Starship's going to be like. The light that comes off the rocket at the bottom, it feels like you're looking at a welding torch. It is so unbelievably bright. And the sound, it shakes your chest. Even from a fair ways away, these things just don't come across in a video. If you ever get a chance to watch a rocket launch, you've got to see it. It's just like, man, this is what humans can do when we stop being assholes for 5 minutes. Wow, okay. This is one thing. Thank you guys for chatting. This has given me a chance to try to practice keeping up with comments as well. Prototype blow up on Challenger. Oh, man. I dreamed of being an astronaut when I was younger, and I begged my parents to let me stay home for when Challenger actually launched, the real Challenger back in the 80s, because it was the first time a civilian was going up, a teacher. And I thought, oh, civilians are going to go into space. And when I came home from school and found out it blew up, that was a great sadness. I actually went to the Atlantis exhibit in Cape Canaveral about 5 years ago. And they had Atlantis hanging from the ceiling, the actual Atlantis shuttle. And it was amazing. The closest an agnostic like I will ever go to come to going to church. But when I went through, there's a walkway where they show personal effects of astronauts, the Discovery astronauts and the Challenger astronauts who've died in explosions. It was touching. Those astronauts all knew the risk they were taking, and God love them. Anyways, I'm not going to go there. I'm going to start, being teary. For the first heavy launch, she's a civilian for the DoD. Jeff Granger, yeah, that's my mom. She's retired now, but she got pulled out of retirement, and now she's back and technically in retirement. But she worked on Ascension Island for the U.S. Air Force, stationed at a Patrick Air Force Base. Let's play. Thanks, John. That's the style of video I was trying to remember. Let's plays. Yeah, John, again, if you can link it in the chat, link it. And anybody, he's a really genuinely good guy, living in Seoul, trying to start his channel. Just definitely watch him. If you're nerds, which you are if you're watching my channel, you'll probably enjoy John's content. Okay, thank you, Andy, for stopping by. I'll see you on Saturday. An early happy birthday. Um, sort of works. It snowed this morning, Maddie. It snowed in Seoul. Wow, I didn't know. I mean, I guess I never really knew how much snow Seoul got. We had a bit of snow in our grass this morning as well. Real old geekster, thank you. It's been a lot of work, but um, uh, Lithium Solar posted Real Old Geekster. I don't know if you saw in the comment section, but he did one where it was a multi-wire bus bar, but he put a loop in it. And it adds a bit of length, but I was thinking, could you put a loop where it was like a coil that went flat across the surface of the batteries? I'm too tied up right now in building the box because I can't do another video until I get the box built because the batteries are just consuming all of my desk space. But I'm really tempted to try to make at least one of lithium solar style batteries where he does the coil, except laying it flat because I want to keep my batteries as thin as possible because I probably am going to have to stack two of them on top of each other. Stay charged, Andy. Yes, I should say that to Andy. Thank you, Andy. Stay charged and stay safe. Natty's girl, what was a bad day? I'm sorry, did I miss a comment? Oh, when Challenger exploded, yeah. Ugh. My glass is already empty, but there's lots of amazingly brave astronauts who've lost their lives. Anyone who works in space exploration, they're the people who are moving our species to be interplanetary, and that's the only way we're going to have a future. So anybody who works, and especially the people who take high-risk jobs and then pay that price to help us become a multiplanetary and hopefully eventually a multi-solar system species, they're the heroes of our species. Scott Newcomb, let's do the elevator up. I'm not quite sure what that is. Cheers, Ray builds cool stuff. Yeah, I'm probably going to check out here fairly soon as well. Okay, yeah, John, I know you're not in Seoul technically, but it's like I say to people, I'm in Toronto. Not technically, but I don't expect anyone to know where Kitchener is. Thanks, John. That means a lot. I appreciate that. We hope to go to the Atlas launch next month. Oh man, Jeff Granger, that'd be amazing. May solar be with you all. My daughter went to Challenger Elementary. Dude, I didn't know there was a Challenger Elementary. That's amazing. Space elevators. Space elevators are one of those technologies that are... I remember I first saw it. So back in the 90s, my mom and I, there was two shows we would always watch together when they were new. We would always watch Murder, She Wrote and Star Trek The Next Generation. Whenever those came on, Mom and I sat down and watched them. That was the Star Trek Next Generation was the first time I ever saw the concept of a space elevator. We have a long way to go in material sciences to get a material that can handle the kind of tensions and weights that would be placed on a space elevator. But if we ever pull that off, I hope to live to see that. Spectrum DIY. I mean, if you always wanted to be a DIY, shifted phase, I know where you live. I should hope you know where I live. You've been here. Shifted phase, I know where you live. I was at your place. So very, very brief funny story. I was visiting Shifted Phase there. What was it? 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago? The last big trip of my Subaru before it died. I got to where Shifted Phase lived, couldn't find parking anywhere, was having an absolute meltdown. And he was like, do you want me to get in the car with you to help you find parking? I'm like, yes, please. Oh, good times, good times. Okay, it is 23:56. Okay, at midnight, I have to call it because I got to get to bed. So a few more minutes. Huntsville, Alabama, Alabama Marshall Space Flight Center. You know, John, I've actually got a customer just outside of, Alabama, Georgia, Alabama. Do I have a customer in Alabama? I have a customer in Georgia. I think for some reason my brain is saying Georgia and Alabama are really close to each other. I think what I need to do now that I've got like so many awesome people out there is when I'm going to start traveling, I should put a message out to say I'm going to be in this city at this time and see if anyone wants to meet up for a drink. Meltdowns are not good times. No, they aren't. And Kudos again to Shifted Phase for chilling me out. Listen, we're all humans. We're stuck in meat sacks. We've got hormones that go through our brains. We don't always have full control. Shit happens. All right, 3 more minutes and then I'm going to cash out. I've been to the Space Center in Alabama. I'm in Mississippi. I would, I have in the new year, once I get my Tesla, I've got customers in upstate New York. I've got a customer in New Jersey. I'm hoping to visit my friend out in Massachusetts who's doing the Acorn to Arabella. If you want to watch some amazing gusto. I'll probably be working my way down to Florida. I'll probably be stopping in Atlanta, Georgia, possibly North Carolina. I'll be doing a big trip along the eastern seaboard. I'm going to have to see whoever I can find out there and meet up for coffee, depending on the time of the day, or adult beverages, adult apple juice. I'm in Markham. Hey, neighbor. Chris H., you're in Markham, Ontario. Yeah, dude, you're close. You're really close. Werner von Braun Civic Center. I wish I could find my other orange kitty, Kepler. He's named after Johann Kepler. The live show is going to be... So this is Eastern time. So by frame of reference, it's almost midnight. So it is going to be Saturday, November 27th at 6 p.m., I think is what I said. I'll check what I said in the live chat. I'm pretty sure it's 6 p.m. Wow, this has been absolutely astoundingly fun for a completely unscripted, untested, well, it was meant to be testing, and a completely unscripted live chat. This has been wonderful. I'm really looking forward to Saturday now. All right, everybody, it is midnight. I have got to call it a night and go to sleep. Thank you all for helping me with the test. I have an orange kitty, but his name is Fred. Orange kitties are awesome. 3 p.m. where I live. Phil's 4x4 touring and equipment. And Sean McGrath. Good night from Rhode Island. Rhode Island! I was looking at a boat out your way. Didn't work out, though. Your 68th birthday, is that on Sunday or on Saturday, Real Old Geek? We'll have to pull a drink then. Cheers, because Andy's birthday is going to be the same day as well. All right, Scott Newcomb, Q420, audio and video sound good. Thank you for that. Good night, everybody. This was really fun. Thank you for helping me test this out. Bye, all. As Andy would say, stay charged. How do I end it? Start recording. Studio. Oh, was it not recording? Oh, that's a good thing for Saturday. Maybe I have to click on start recording. Okay, bye.